Hello, Washington Middle School families. This presentation is about symphonic band. I'm Mr. Holder, the band teacher. Actually, this year, for the first few months, you're going to get a 2-for-1 special on band teachers. We have a student teacher through December. Her name is Miss Quillen. So a little bit about me. I always like knowing a little bit about the teachers that my kids had over the years. So I actually grew up in Olympia, went through the Olympia Public Schools, started my band career at Roosevelt Elementary School in the 5th grade, went to Reeves and Olympia High School. And then after graduating from Olympia High School and going off to college, that was my first job, is coming back and teaching band at Olympia High School. So I did 6 years of band teaching at Olympia High School, then moved over to Jefferson Middle School and was there for 19 years, 20 years. And just the last couple years, last year I started at Washington Middle School. And that whole time I've also been teaching 5th grade band. So I have kind of a wide range of teaching experience. I've taught beginners the whole time. I've taught seniors in high school, so I can sort of see the whole band path in the Olympia School District. I've taught all levels. And then I'm also a performer. I'm active trumpet performer in the area. I've taught private lessons for years in the area. And maybe another really important thing for my teaching and for helping parents and students is I'm a band parent. All 4 of my kids went through the music program in the Olympia School District. All 4 of my kids went to Washington Middle School. 3 of them have graduated from Olympia High School. We have a sophomore daughter right now at Olympia High School. So I try to bring all those perspectives to my teaching, and I got lots of different angles to approach teaching music from. Miss Quillen, as I mentioned, is our student teacher. A little bit about her. She's a flutist, and she's finishing up her studies at Western Washington University. This is her last official act in her teacher training, and then she'll be turned loose as a band teacher after her student teaching experience. Some quick notes about supplies for the symphonic band. We're going to be using a book again this year. The book is called Accent on Achievement Book 3. So that's something you can pick up at one of the local music stores. You can also order that online. There's another, in Schoology, there's a link to a whole larger list of suggested supplies for band success. For most of the symphonic band members, the things on the list will be old hat, things like reeds and valve oil and things to keep your instrument clean and in good working condition. If any of that is a problem, or if you have questions about any of that, or you need help obtaining any of those things for any reason, please feel free to send me an email and we'd be happy to help with any of that. For our concerts this year, we may actually have concerts this year. Wouldn't that be incredible? Hopefully things will head in that direction. We'll get to have some concerts. We're going to use a uniform. We want to look professional. We want to look the same and uniform. So what we'll do for performances is on the top, white, and on the bottom, black. That's sort of the summary. We want a white long sleeve collared shirt or blouse on the top half. For the symphonic band, it's been the tradition at Washington Middle School for years. We have a nice set of red blazers. So the symphonic band members will have a blazer that they wear over their white top. And the school provides that. They've been dry cleaned a couple years ago. Actually, it's been a year and a half or 2 since we've used them. And on the bottom, long black skirt or black dress pants. And then to complete the look, black shoes and black socks. I'm not sure I've had too many middle school band concerts where everyone has black socks. Maybe this is the year. And again, with the concert uniform, I wanted to make you aware of it as soon as possible so you can check those closets. I know some of you may have had those from 6th grade band or from other ensemble experiences. You might want to check to see if any of that stuff still fits or if it's wadded up in the bottom of the closet. Wanted to make you aware of it as soon as possible. If there's any problem getting any of those performance clothes, please again send me an email and we can help with that. Briefly, here's a look at some of the things we're going to be learning in symphonic band. Even for the older kids, the more experienced band members of the symphonic band, we want band to be fun. We want playing their instrument in band to be one of the favorite parts of their day. We want it to be a fun class. We are going to sneak in some learning, however. So the things we're going to be working on, because we had such a weird year of band last year, and actually for the last year and a half, weird band learning and teaching, we're going to spend a lot of time reviewing some fundamental technique development issues. So we'll spend a lot of time doing some review, making sure everyone's on the same page with how these instruments work. The better they get at their technique, the more enjoyable it is to play the instrument. And we'll also, as we're developing technique, we're also sort of looking ahead, looking forward. Are they prepared to be in band at high school? So we'll be talking a little bit about what comes next in band. We'll work on ensemble skills. It's also been quite a while since some of these kids have played in person with other musicians. Some of them got a little taste of that last year in smaller groups. But this is the largest group. We have, I think, 21 in the symphonic band. Nice balance of all the different instruments. So it'll be fun to hear all those instruments playing at the same time. And that brings on its own set of challenges since it's been a while since we've done that. We are going to prepare for concerts. That'll be a big part of what we do in class is prepare music for concerts. One of the concerts coming up, I'll share with on the next slide. That comes up in October, so we'll do some preparation for that relatively quickly. And I still believe that learning a musical instrument is one of the best ways to really develop your grit. Learning a musical instrument is fun. It's really a lifetime of fun, but it's also a lifetime of challenge and frustration. Again, I mentioned I started playing trumpet at Roosevelt Elementary School in 5th grade. That was in 1980. And almost every time I've played my trumpet in a practice session or performance since 1980, there's definitely been fun every time, smiles, laughing, enjoyment, but there's also definitely been frustration and challenges. Even now, after playing the trumpet for over 40 years, I have moments of challenge where I wish I could play it faster. I wish I could play higher or lower or softer or louder. So that's one of the great things about music is you really are signing yourself up for a lifetime of challenge, a lifetime of frustration. That's not a great way to sell band, but it really is true that there's something that's just exciting about having that challenge in front of you every day. And then we'll do a little bit of talking about why are we doing this? Why have you spent 2 or 3 or 4 years playing an instrument? Why do you make music? Why do you want to keep making music in the future? Do you like performing for people? Do you like performing for yourself? So we'll spend some time sort of investigating why we're doing this anyway. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. So class participation is part of the grade, homework's part of the grade, tests and concerts. Those are the 4 categories. It's mostly a participation class. So 30% of the grade is participation. It's basically bring your instrument, fully participate in class, and that is usually not a problem. There is homework in band. You'll improve most quickly and most efficiently if you practice. So that's our band homework is practicing. We won't keep a specific practice chart just with time and a weekly calendar of time practiced. It's going to be more of a practice journal, a practice notebook where they can put in what their plan for practicing is and did they accomplish their plan? How do they know they accomplished their plan? What did they learn? We want to talk really specifically about how to practice. What's the best way to practice? We want to be efficient with our practicing so we can improve as quickly as possible. There will be in-class playing tests. We didn't do that much last year, but that will be part of the students' grade. We hope that the kids by this point are comfortable playing in front of others. If they're not quite there yet, we'll encourage them to get good at performing for people. That's half the fun of being a musician. So there'll be some playing tests. They're meant to cause a little bit of stress to motivate the practice. If that stress starts to creep up a little bit and you're sensing as a parent that the stress is a little higher than seems healthy, please send me an email or have your student come and talk to me and we can figure out some alternate ways to do the testing initially until they get a little more comfortable in that area. And then again, we're hoping to have concerts and that's going to be a 30% part of their grade attending those concerts. There's a performance schedule up on Schoology and Try to look at those dates as soon as possible. Get them on your calendar. I always joke that we'd like you to plan your lives around the band calendar if possible. If you do notice a schedule conflict, if you could let me know as soon as possible, that makes it easiest for us to kind of work around that. With a band that mostly we're playing one person on a part. There's 21 kids in the band. Anyone absent from the concert makes our lives a little bit complicated. So do your best to get students to all those performances. Speaking of performances, we have some fun opportunities. We did jazz band all last year on Zoom. We didn't even, when we went back to in person, we kept the jazz band remote just because it was difficult to find a time to do it in person. This year, we're going to go back to doing jazz band before school. So my plan currently is to do Wednesday mornings from 8:15 to 9 is going to be our jazz band time. Any 7th or 8th grader, regardless of what instrument they play, we're going to welcome everyone into the jazz band this year. If you can make it to school at 8:15 on a Wednesday morning, you have passed the audition. You're in the group. Congratulations. So that's going to be a fun, hopefully you enjoyed some of the jazz band performances last year that we did on Zoom if you saw those. It's a fun way to learn a different style of music. It's kind of an extra bonus opportunity for the 7th and 8th graders if they'd like to take advantage of it. So there will be more details coming out about that. We probably won't start that till toward the middle or end of October. One new thing we're going to try this year that we've organized with Mr. Curley, the band teacher at Olympia High School, and the band at Reeves Middle School also, is we've been invited to perform on October 8th at Ingersoll Stadium with the Olympia High School marching band. So we're going to sit in the stands. We're not going to go out and try to walk and play yet, but we're going to sit in the stands with the Olympia High School band and the 8th graders from Reeves Middle School band and all play together. So we're going to be learning some of that music over the first few weeks of school here. And then on Friday, October 8th, we're going to go and sit in the stands with the high school band, be a part of the fun and festivities of the football game, watch the high school band perform their halftime show. It'll start out with a rehearsal maybe around 5 o'clock where we get used to playing in that big group. The band booster group at Olympia High School is going to feed us pizza, and then we'll stay through the end of the football game. So that'll be a fun night, something we haven't done before. Again, more information will be coming out about that soon and a permission slip. So that's another fun opportunity that we'll get a little taste of what the band future could look like for some of these students. Lastly, ways to help your musician. Most of you have been doing this for a few years, the band parent routine. So hopefully you have some tricks in the bag. Number one, I'd say just give encouragement. Be as encouraging as you can. We know playing an instrument is challenging. It kind of goes like this. There's some moments where it's exciting and moments where it's boring, moments where it's challenging, moments where it's easy. So just be ready to be there to encourage on those moments where there's a kind of a dip in enthusiasm or a challenge rises up. Be encouraging. Also, we don't talk about this too much, but when we're talking about how the students practice, anything you can do as a parent to help organize things logistically, physically in your home so that the students have a quiet place to practice. There's a chair that works for good posture. There's a music stand. The instrument has a place that can be safely away from little brothers and sisters. So those logistics are great ways to help your musician. And then ask them questions, bug them, bother them, ask them a bunch of questions. What did you learn in band today? What are you playing? Could you play some of it for me? Could you play me a concert this weekend? You have official permission to bother your child about what's going on in band. And if you're not getting the right answers, feel free to send me an email. I'll give you a good list of questions you can talk to your young musicians about. Finally, if you have any questions at all, any issues pop up, if you're concerned about things that are going on in class, if band is becoming not fun for your students, if you have any questions of any kind, please send me an email. Email is by far the best way to reach me. I teach at 5 different schools. I'm at Washington Middle School in the mornings, and then again, 6th period. And in the middle of the day, I'm out at 4 different elementary schools. So email is the best way to reach me. So thanks for watching the presentation about Symphonic Band. I'm excited to take the kids on our musical journey this year, and it's really fun seeing them back in class in person. Thanks a lot.